Her name is known everywhere. The interlocking seas are now a symbol of elegance, wealth, and power. But behind the world's most iconic fashion house lies a story far darker and far more human. Before she was Coco, she was Gabrielle Chanel, a girl abandoned, an orphan sewing by candlelight, who swore she would never be poor again. Her life would take her from convent corridors to Parisian salons, from romance to scandal, from designing dresses to dining with spies. This is the story of the woman who changed fashion forever, and whose own life was stitched together with ambition, reinvention, and secrets. Gabrielle Chanel was born in 1883 in Saumur, a small town in western France. Her father, Albert, was a traveling peddler. Her mother, Jeanne, a laundrywoman. They were poor, moving from town to town, barely surviving. When Jeanne died of tuberculosis, 12-year-old Gabrielle's world fell apart. Her father placed her and her sisters in the orphanage at Aubazine Abbey, and then disappeared from their lives. At Aubazine, Gabrielle lived under strict discipline. The convent was cold, the nuns severe, but here she learned the one skill that would shape her destiny: sewing. She made simple, functional clothes, straight lines, plain fabrics, a style that would later inspire her designs. But Gabrielle had fire in her. When she turned 18, she left the orphanage and worked as a seamstress by day. At night, she sang in cafes, entertaining officers and gentlemen with light-hearted songs. It was here she earned her nickname, Coco, either from a song lyric or from the French word coquette, flirt. Coco had charm, wit, and ambition, and she soon attracted powerful men. Etienne Balsam, a wealthy horse breeder, became her lover and opened the doors of high society to her. Through him, she met Captain Arthur Boy Capel, the man who would become the love of her life and the financier of her first shop. Coco had found her escape route from the shadows of her past, and she was about to change the way women dressed forever. Paris at the dawn of the 20th century was the capital of excess. Women were tightly laced into corsets, draped in layers of fabric, weighed down by feathers, ribbons, and hats as wide as wagon wheels. Coco hated it. She saw fashion as a prison, a cage that turned women into ornaments. She wanted freedom. Her designs were simple, elegant, and liberating. She used jersey, a fabric then considered only fit for men's underwear, and turned it into chic dresses and casual tops. Her clothes let women move, breathe, live. In 1910, Coco opened a hat shop at 21 Rue Cambon. Her hats, free of heavy decorations, were a sensation. By 1913, she opened her first boutique in Deauville, a seaside resort town. During World War I, while Parisian society mourned, Coco's simple dresses became the look of a new era. By the 1920s, she was unstoppable. She launched Chanel No. 5, a perfume that smelled like nothing before, complex, modern, abstract. She introduced the little black dress, transforming morning wear into an icon of elegance. And she made costume jewelry fashionable, mixing gold with glass pearls, saying, "A woman needs ropes and ropes of pearls." Chanel didn't just make clothes. She made a statement. Women could be chic, comfortable, and powerful. By the 1930s, Coco Chanel had built an empire. Her fashion house employed thousands. She lived at the Ritz Hotel, a queen in her own right. Her circle of friends included the most brilliant minds of her era: Picasso, Cocteau, Stravinsky. But Chanel was more than a designer. She was a strategist. She understood image, branding, and desire. Her stores, her packaging, even her advertisements carried her personal stamp. But success came at a price. Coco could be ruthless. She clashed with business partners, cut ties with friends who disappointed her, and guarded her name fiercely. As Europe slid toward war, Chanel's world machine and her empire would face its most dangerous test. When Nazi Germany occupied Paris in 1940, Coco closed her couture house, saying fashion had no place in wartime. But she didn't leave Paris. She stayed at the Ritz, now the headquarters for top German officers. Here she began a romance with Hans Günther von Dinklage, a German intelligence officer. Through him, she was drawn into espionage. Declassified archives revealed that Chanel was registered as Agent F7124 in the Abwehr, Germany's military intelligence. Her mission: to use her connections in Britain to try to broker a separate peace between Churchill's government and Germany. The plan failed. When Paris was liberated in 1944, many collaborators were arrested, tried, even executed. Chanel was questioned, but released within hours. Why? Some historians believe Winston Churchill personally intervened. Others suspect the French elite wanted to avoid scandal. Chanel was too famous, too valuable to put on trial. But her reputation was damaged. She fled to Switzerland, living quietly for nearly a decade. It seemed like the end of Coco Chanel. But Coco was not a woman who accepted endings. In 1954, at age 71, Coco Chanel returned to Paris. The fashion world had changed. Christian Dior's new look ruled: cinched waists, full skirts, ultra-feminine glamour. But Chanel offered something different. Her new collection featured slim silhouettes, tweed jackets with gold chains, comfortable skirts, a uniform for the modern working woman. Critics were harsh at first. The French press called her outdated, but American buyers loved her. Hollywood loved her. Soon her suits were everywhere, worn by movie stars, society women, and First Lady Jackie Kennedy. Coco Chanel had done the impossible. She had returned from scandal, reinvented herself, and reclaimed her place as Queen of Fashion. Coco Chanel never retired. She worked every day, supervising fittings, approving fabrics, scolding her staff when things weren't perfect. On January 10, 1971, at age 87, she returned to her suite at the Ritz, lay down to rest and whispered, "You see, this is how you die." Paris mourned. At her funeral, her models sat in the front row, wearing her signature suits. The world said goodbye to a legend who had dressed women for freedom. Today, Chanel is one of the most powerful luxury houses in the world, worth billions, but its legacy is more than clothes or perfume. Coco Chanel liberated women from corsets. She gave them trousers, jersey, pearls, the little black dress, a way to be elegant without being confined. But her life remains controversial. She was a genius, but also a collaborator, a visionary, but also a woman who made choices to protect herself and her empire at any cost. Perhaps that is why we are still fascinated by her. Coco Chanel did not just create fashion. She created an image of herself, of women, of power. And that image, like her perfume, lingers long after she is gone. If you were surprised by the secret life of Coco Chanel, share this video with friends who love fashion, power, and history. And don't forget to subscribe to Untold History, where we unlock the hidden past behind the world's most iconic names.